Name 3 MLB players you root for that aren't part of your favorite team. Play ball with Sports and Bar Talk, live on the Brew.
All right, welcome back to the Brew. Look, Joel's here in Newark, New Jersey, here, Big Studio 50. Yeah, we flew him in just to talk about baseball because we asked you on social media, what are your 3 favorite baseball players for teams that you don't follow? They're not part of your team. We got our list. You got yours. So, who are your 3 favorites?
For me, so obviously I'm a Yankee fan. You guys can see that. I'm holding a baseball that has Pirates. Joe's a huge Pirate fan also. We have all got our split, divided loyalties. That's just part of being a fan. For me, being someone who's from Vegas, I have a lot of love for players like Bryce Harper, who play the game hard and play the right way and try to do philanthropic work outside of baseball. So I would say Bryce Harper's on my list. There's so many players I root for that aren't on my team as long as they are not playing against my team. I will never root for somebody against my team. But I would go Bryce Harper. Andrew McCutchen, I think, is a really good dude to look up to.
Catch
Good
22.
model. Yep. I would say I like Chris Bryant as well. This list could go on for me for a while. What about you?
Yeah. So here comes no surprise. First off, I took some time and wrote mine down and put some thoughts, and you're not going to be surprised that 2 of mine are his answers. So Bryce Harper, number 1 with the Phillies. Again, I never liked seeing him play against the Yankees or my Pirates too, but at the same time, the guy plays a lot of passion. Yes, he becomes a little bit of a hothead at times. He gets a little bit too much. At the same time, though, he's a great player. My second one, Chris Bryant also. I liked it better when Chris Bryant played with the Cubs. Now he pretty much plays, how many teams now? Like he's on the
Giant, then I know he's on the Rockies, but he's kind of under the radar now.
Yeah. But still a great player. He was great when him and Rizzo played together as Cubbies. Like that was a fun little duo to watch. Then my third one is Jameson Taillon. Speaking of the Cubs, he's now their pitcher. I love when he pitched for the Pirates. I love when he pitched for the Yankees. Another guy had his eye on the ball all the time. Good friends with Garrett Cole. Like they worked together when they were playing both in Pittsburgh and in New York. So great, passionate players. But we've got your list to share. In fact, we got a whole stack. So who are your favorites?
There's a ton of these things.
Yeah, let's find out.
Rob Ripley says Bobby Witt Jr., Ellie De La Cruz, and Jacob Stallings. I'm curious who he roots for, where he would know those exact 3 players and why those 3.
He lives in California, but he has some Pittsburgh connections too.
That would make sense for the Jacob Stallings one, because that's not a player that a lot of people know about. Jacob Stallings only, I believe, on his 3rd team, where you get Bobby Witt Jr. and Ellie De La Cruz. Those guys are exciting. They're electric. They're more household names. Whit. Michael Fine. Ohtani brings excitement to each at bat. Ellie De La Cruz, hustle included. And Bobby Witt Jr., all around solid. 2 very good. Also adding Shohei Ohtani onto that for the same reason.
Ohtani, a name you can bet on.
Oh my. We got Who's John 21. He says Mike Trout. Ellie De La Cruz again. Ellie De La Cruz is 3 for 3 in getting these answers. And Paul Skeens, very, very fun new arm on the Pirates to look at. A rookie starting the All-Star game is pretty rare. So
fun to watch.
Oh, I was telling Joe last night at the bar, Paul Skeens reminds me of a mix between like Strasburg and Verlander a little bit. He's got the tools there.
Yeah.
Early in his career, that's who he reminds me of.
Wait a minute, you and I were at the bar? Imagine that.
Ryan Dixon says Babe Ruth, Josh Gibson, and Dwight Gooden.
Ooh,
so we're going
classics.
Classic.
Yeah. Dwight Gooden won the game on cocaine.
Babe Ruth, obviously,
won the game on alcohol and cigars.
Yeah, he's more our style. Well, actually, Babe Ruth was kind of a drinker too.
Yeah, and the thing about Babe Ruth, it's crazy for how out of shape the guy was, yet how great he played. But in today's players, you got to juice them up, they got to work out and stuff. But the guy shows anybody can play baseball and still be just fine. It's kind of insane.
It's actually kind of what makes the game fun, and it makes kids think the game is achievable when there's players like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be him. Josh Gibson, one of the best baseball players of all time, just like to put that out there. We kind of ignored that part of the answer. All right, let's see what Rudy says. Bryce Harper, Cody Bellinger, and Javi Baez, and then ... Just kidding.
2 thumbs down.
Third one is Fernando Tatis Jr. See, I gotta disagree with him on the third one only because I think Tatis is a fun player to watch, but I don't like the PED use, and I don't like how he's had scuffles with his teammates over immaturity. That happened with Harper when he was early on in his career as well, where he had scuffles. But yeah, so you got to give him a little bit of a learning curve there.
Remember when him and Papelbon got into it? Remember that? We were talking about that the other day. That's a great video to watch. So we don't have the rights to.
But look it up. It's on YouTube. And then, we didn't really say anything about Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger was a great player for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Absolutely excellent. And he had a rebound year with the Cubs. Good for him. Craig Bankhead, Judge Trout, and Jersey Joe.
Ooh, I like that.
Hey.
Like Babe Ruth out there.
So, yeah, there you go. There's your Babe Ruth answer manifested. Okay, Trout is the best player I've ever seen play baseball personally.
You hate him.
I hate him, that's true, but he's also the individual single best player I've ever seen, without question. And then we didn't really talk about, Craig is not a Yankee fan, so what do you want to answer about that Judge?
Yeah, because Craig, I don't know what fan he is. Okay.
He's kind of split between like the Dodgers and the Padres, which is why you get those weird answers sometimes. But Judge, I think, is a good answer because he's a good role model. He's the captain of the team. He's always diplomatic when he talks. He's a very good person to look up to. Nick Barkenhagen says Harrison Bader, Michael Conforto, and Jackson Rutledge.
There's a interesting group of three. I didn't know like Conforto on that list. That's okay.
I'm curious, how many people really like Michael?
I know
that's a big Michael Conforto fan.
You know, you don't see a lot of Conforto jerseys walking around. Not even here in New York, you don't see that.
Yeah,
Number
that's
30.
interesting. Bader, I could see why there would be a lot of Bader fans here because he grew up a Yankee fan. He's a New Yorker, and he's on the Mets. He played well when he was on the Yankees in the postseason.
You know what's nice about having Joel live here? I don't have to read all these answers. I just can sit here and drink. I kind of like it.
And we can both give you a little reprieve. Matt Strong says Miguel Cabrera, Justin Verlander, and Shohei Ohtani. Very fun people to watch. Miguel Cabrera just retired. I was blessed enough to see him play as both a Marlin and a Tiger, and easily one of the best hitters I've ever seen play. Verlander's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Shohei Ohtani is well on his way to being the same.
Yeah.
And Shohei Ohtani, talk about good people. That's one thing I really like about Shohei Ohtani. Good person. You can look up to him. We don't have to worry about these guys getting and like smacking their wife or getting a DUI. I'm not even the one drinking. I just had a sip. Final answer. Nat Treat. Andrew McCutcheon, Pete Alonso, and Corey Seager. And then in parentheses, Matt wrote, wish he were still on my team. Well, Corey Seager did win a World Series MVP for the Dodgers and the Rangers. There's only very few players like that.
He's a Dodger fan.
We already covered McCutcheon, so that makes sense. And Pete Alonso, I was a little surprised by that pick for a Dodger fan to say.
Yeah, well, he kind of likes the Mets too.
That's true.
Past life.
That's true. Pete Alonso, he won. He's got some career accolades for where he's at. We're not going to disrespect him. I don't like him personally, but from the perspective of a player, not as a person.
You keep hearing his name too being dangled as Mets trade bait. Will he still be a Met? Because they could actually get some good money for him. So
right.
We'll find out.
Watch he ends up on the Yankees next week.
Yeah.
Some crazy
Thanks,
shit.
Panda. All right, well, thanks for all your great answers. Love talking baseball. And you want to see more? Click on the like, subscribe button for all the fun right here on the Jersey Joe 50 YouTube channel. Oh, there goes the graphic. It disappeared away. But hey, we're here all the time having lots of fun. And always good to see him on the East Coast this time. Don't worry, in a few weeks, I'm flying to the West Coast. It's going to work the other way.
A couple shows. You guys know how it goes.
Yeah. Right now, Jersey Joe and I saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, I hope.
Streaming now on Kicking Back with Jersey Joe, how a college professor invented the chicken nugget.